everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to do a book review of Girl Online by Zoe Sugg. So I have to admit I picked this up because I follow Zoella on YouTube. I don't watch her things religiously. I haven't seen every one of her videos, but I like her. I like Zoe Sugg. She knows her stuff. I think it was really great that she wrote this book and that she's trying new things. I picked it up at the library because of her, and I didn't know anything about the book. It's a YA novel. It's a contemporary YA. I actually haven't picked up a lot of contemporary YA in the past few years. I want to say the last contemporary YA novel I read was The Fault in Our Stars, but don't quote me on that because I don't actually remember. So it's in first person. It takes place in Brighton, England, which Zoe Sugg is English, so that makes sense. And our main character, Penny, she is in high school. She's 16 years old. She's really clumsy. She likes photography, and it starts off with a blog post of hers. That's the Girl Online. She has an alias of Girl Online. She feels like she can be herself when she blogs. So she's anonymous. Only her best friend knows about it. So that's kind of the premise of the Girl Online. She just blogs about life, I think. And from her blog post, she just blogs about her life. She posts photos and stuff like that. It's pretty cute. It's kind of, what a high school girl would blog about. But Penny is very clumsy, and she's also very shy around other people other than her family and her friend Elliot. Penny's family was in a car crash, and since then, Penny has been getting anxiety and panic attacks. This is one of the reasons why I really enjoyed this book, because I haven't read a lot about social anxiety or panic attacks. Kath from Fangirl by Rainbow Rowell, she gets social anxiety, but it's different. They're different characters. Knowing Zoella and watching some of her YouTube videos, I knew that the panic attack storyline was something really close to her because she got panic attacks when she was in school, and so I really liked that it was pretty real when she wrote about this. So that was a good thing about this novel that I really enjoyed. So the premise of this novel, other than Penny is blogging online anonymously and she's getting panic attacks that no one knows about, is she's in high school. She's really klutzy. She's dealing with, high school things, the play. She trips on stage, and, her best friend, one of her best friends, is really mean to her. She's like, can you outgrow your best friend? And I think that's a really good point to talk about in a book like that, because everyone thinks that you have to have a best friend from high school forever. And I have a lot of close friends from high school that I still keep in contact with, but I think you can outgrow people. I think that's the nature of relationships. I think you can just start to realize that people change, and when you change, you're not changing together. You're growing apart. So I like that she touched on that in this book. Also, Penny's parents own a wedding planning agency, and a couple from New York stumbles upon it, and they want a Downton Abbey themed wedding. And they have a set amount of time that this needs to happen. It needs to happen before Christmas. Long story short, Penny's family gets invited to New York, all expenses paid, for the wedding, and they decide to go. So Penny is going, and Penny's mom and dad are going, and Elliot is going. Elliot is Penny's best friend. Tom doesn't want to go for some reason that I can't remember. So the four of them venture to New York City, and this is like the grand adventure. Penny's really nervous about the plane ride, but Elliot and her mom and her dad are all really good. Elliot helps her out a lot. She creates this alter ego, like I am Sasha Fierce. She creates Ocean Strong. And that part was really good. I think Elliot was a really good friend, helping her out and stuff like that. So all goes well. She doesn't have a panic attack on the plane. They get to New York, and it's beautiful. They're set up in this hotel where the wedding's going to be, and it's really nice. And they meet the caterer, Sadie Lee. Now, Penny is helping out her mom because she's helped out with weddings before, so she kind of knows what's going on. Penny's dad does more of the financial stuff, so he and Elliot are off sightseeing, so they're out of the picture right now. So Penny decides to explore the hotel with her camera. She's looking around. She goes to a theater or a stage room or something for some reason they have in the hotel, and she sees this guy sitting on stage with a guitar. She takes his picture, but she realizes that the flash is on at the last minute, and he catches her. And he's kind of like, what are you doing? What are you doing? Like, kind of that first little hint as to who he is, but Penny doesn't think anything of it. She just thinks she interrupted his private moment. So I thought their first meeting was pretty cute, but then it kind of got cliche. He was, I don't know, it just didn't seem like, I think it's the time span. The time span for me in a lot of novels like this one, when she meets him the first day and she feels like she knows him forever, and I just feel like that doesn't happen. I don't know anyone who that has happened to, personally, in my life. If it's happened to you, please let me know, because that's amazing. I've never had that connection with someone. I've never known anyone who's had a connection with someone. So that was a little unbelievable. I liked how they clicked, but I think that it could have gotten drawn out a little longer before she like started realizing she had romantic feelings for him. So Noah and Penny end up going on a run for a tiara, to get an antique tiara for the bride together. And they end up spending the day together in Brooklyn. He takes her to all these crazy cool, backdoor restaurants and bookshops and stuff like that. It's cute. They have fun time together. And Penny ends up actually having a panic attack while she's in the car while Noah's driving. And this is kind of freaking her out a little more, but he handles it really well. And you kind of get the feeling that he's dealt with this before, maybe not himself, but with other people. That's kind of, he's really good with her. He kind of tells her to breathe, and he gives her a bunch of good advice, which I think is really good that she included that for teens reading this who are dealing with the same issues that Penny is. So I thought that was really great. And this is kind of when Penny first is like, he kind of understands me, and she's kind of getting all moody and stuff like that, which is fine. She used a lot of pop culture references in the book, it reminded me, if you guys have ever read any of Meg Cabot's books, it reminded me of that. It's first person, and she talks a lot about, she mentions Downton Abbey a lot, which I don't watch. I haven't watched. I kind of want to watch, but I didn't really see the necessity of this being a Downton Abbey theme, other than there were cool costumes, and it was like British, so that's why, I guess that's kind of why they wanted them to come to New York. So I get it, but I felt kind of left out because I hadn't watched Downton Abbey. And other pop culture references that, One Direction, and that I'm just not a fan, and I just don't, whatever. If you like Meg Cabot, you'll really like this book. So the ending, I had like 4 pages left of this book, and I was kind of excited because I thought maybe he would call her, but they wouldn't actually get back together. But of course, because it's, YA contemporary, he meets her at the beach, and they talk it over for like 3 sentences, and they get back together. And that's how it ends. I don't know, I saw on Goodreads that this is Girl Online #1. I don't know if there's gonna be a sequel. I don't know if I would read the sequel if there was a sequel. Maybe. I'm not super emotionally invested. The only character that I'm invested in is Penny, because she's the first one. I didn't care that much about Noah. I thought he was a good guy, but, he was a liar. I can't stand when it's like,
I'm a rock star, but I don't want to be a rock star, or I'm really rich, but poor little rich boy, I have high expectations.
I don't like those characters. I just don't. I know, I realize they're more complicated than I think they are, but I don't like those characters. So Noah was okay, but I'm not invested in him. Elliot, like, Penny's parents went to talk to Elliot's parents, and everything got resolved really quickly, so I think that could have been a little more drama. I don't know if that'll happen if there is a sequel. I don't know. We'll see. For now, I'm going to give this book 3 stars because of the panic attack storyline. I liked that. I thought that was new and original. Also, it was a fun, fluffy read, so that's what I've got for you. Check it out if you want to. I read it in 2 days. It was really quick. It was a really quick read, so that is it. I am off. See you next time.